so grateful you're with us. So, great, thanks, Andy. So we are so grateful to be here with you, and we recognize how unique this specific time is. Back in 2008, when we first found doTERRA, they announced this crazy thing called Founders Club back in the day, and we thought, I don't know if I could ever achieve that, and it gave us something to point our eyes towards, something to run toward, and it was so healthy for us in the progress and the development of our business and our own personal development in that process. So we have just chosen to Founders Club then, and we're so excited that here we are 12 years later, and this opportunity has come up again. You know, we work with amazing people in doTERRA, people that are not just focused on a short game, but the long game, right? The real game, right? What does Simon Sinek call it?
The infinite game.
The infinite game. And that's what we're working with here, is the infinite game. It's not just, this isn't gonna be a short little, hey, I did this incentive for 90 days. This is a 1-year pursuit, I would say, and you get to be in that space of choice about what it is that you do and what it is that you create. So we're so excited to open this up today, and our intentions are to do 3 things. We are going to clarify things, right? The confused mind says no, so we're going to clarify and get clear so we can move forward. We've got Emily's slide deck. We're gonna go through a few of those pieces and take your questions from the chat and be able to address that so we're all clear. Number 2 is to strategize, right? We're gonna come together to strategize because that's what we do best. We know that, and we're gonna hear from a few great people today that have had experience in strategizing to help founders reach where they reached, right? And then 3, we're gonna just answer any questions, right? So again, adding to your clarity, our intention is that you leave this call today knowing what's required of you and engaged to bring what's required of you, okay? So, so excited for what's coming that way. We are just sending updated links for some that tried before we got the redirect going. So we should be good to go. Let's start in just on the PowerPoint.
Okay.
Back to this. And so with this PowerPoint that Emily has shared with us, it's so amazing. I love, you know, it took us a little time to get our heads around this concept, and it's been so useful I know it isn't the simplest process to get to founders, and it really is holistic. And I think it's gonna really take us to where we wanna be, okay? So I'm super grateful for what's happening there. And we're gonna move through this. So we wanna see any questions that you have in the chat, but we're gonna move through this quickly because we've all seen a lot of this before. We just wanna make sure there's total clarity on it. We'll speak to it from a builder's perspective, okay? So we are at this place right now in Founders Club 2.0. This is our starting point, maturity. And that maturity is really powerful, and we're moving into a return to growth. The founders chose this from the original Founders Club. They chose to say, hey, we have been given so much and we want to pass it on. We want to pass it on to this new Founders Club. So the original Founders Club will get paid on the first $1 billion, and everything above that is going to go to this new US Founders Club 2.0, okay? You can all see the risk is really low, right? There's high risk when we jumped into this. The payout may grow a little bit slower, and at the same time, I don't think it's going to grow any slower than it did for the original Founders Club. That payout compounds with time. So just so you can project, I mean, our first couple years, Andy.
I think the first check was like $500. The next one was 1,000, and then it kept doubling pretty much every year. So based on all the calculations that doTERRA's done, and if you account for the CV adjustment, so we get paid on CV, not on PV. So there's about an 80% payout. So 100,000 PV is the amount that each founder would get paid on. So that's $80,000. So once we've filled up that second billion, then that's the expected payout.
So there's a chance that these first few years you could get 3,000 or 5,000, or where the market is, and depending on how fast we grow. And that's going to doubling just like it did for us. And then you're going to arrive at that $80,000. And that 80,000 pay out indefinitely, right? We're going to talk about a little bit of the requirements to keep that. And all of this strength and growth right now for Founders Club 2.0 is going to go towards that. So I think you're going to look at some really good numbers. Incredible opportunity to be a part and really a shareholder of doTERRA, right? Do you get that? Sometimes you look at the owners and you're like, they've got it made. This was our chance to kind of, we still wanted to be independent. We wanted to do what we wanted to do. And we wanted to own a piece of doTERRA, and it literally is that opportunity, right?
Yep. So, this one.
So 200 places, and December 2020, if you qualify before December 2020, you're going to get double the payment this first year. So Andy Goddard, that could be just $3,000. It could be $1,000. I think it won't be less than that, but that's my projection. But that's a good opportunity just to hit it before December, which gives you kind of a 9-month runtime right now. And again, you've got to have 90% of the volume from US accounts, and they're going to measure that at an elite level, or if that qualifier is an executive, they're going to measure it at that smaller level, right? So just making sure if you're qualifying from elites, that 90% of that volume is from US accounts. Do we need to limit growth in other markets? No way. And you're going to want to make sure that if those legs have a lot of, this has South America volume or that you're bringing up that US volume.
So let's go into detail about how we earn points. The cool thing is, this is not just about you. I feel like all the other incentives that doTERRA has run, it's been all about just you and the you show, right? Like, how many enrollments can you get? How many people can you get on LRP? This is the first time that Incentive Trip is truly like a partnership where doTERRA wants to reward you for raising the most leaders. So the first way to earn points is yourself, and the second one is helping your team.
I love that balance. We've been asking for this for so long, and it just develops. It just lets us live, right? Doing to take you to a real win. What I love about this, Andy, is there's 200 spots. What if you're number 210? What if you're number 1,000? It doesn't matter, because everyone wins in this process. It helps us all get set up for success.
So here's a breakdown of points that you can get for your personal work. So you can get it through personal rank advancements, through personal enrollments, but here are the big payouts is through rank advancements.
Your personal rank advancements.
So you can read through here, 20, 25, 30. You can see that the big points come at the big ranks. The cool thing is you can get these points 3 times. So let's say you get up to Premier and then you fall back. And then you go Premier 2 more times, you get 25 points. Each of those 3 times, the first 3 times you hit that rank. Now let's say you've been at a rank, but you've fallen back for like 6 months or more. When you get back to that rank, you get half points. So doTERRA's being really generous with helping us all grow no matter where we are. So here's the re-qualification points that I was just talking about.
The half points. So you can visualize that. And I love that they're not limiting this as well. So for example, if you hit Premier once and then you go straight to Silver, you're going to add up and get all of those points combined. So you can see that illustrated here. Any, hit us with any questions. I'm seeing the payout monthly or yearly. It's a yearly payout. It usually comes about January 15th when you get a January 15th, you know, commission check. Okay.
Okay. So there's just a couple examples that Emily gave. We're not gonna spend too much time on this.
That's the half payout plus then you hit Silver authentically, but you can see how that starts to add up, right?
So one question was, if you double rank advance, say Silver Platinum, do you get all the gold points?
Yeah.
Yes. So every rank that you move through, like even if you skip ranks, you're gonna pick up everything in between. So you don't have to worry about, a lot of people skip Platinum actually, or they maybe spend a month or 2 there. You don't have to worry about that. Like everybody wins. Okay, awesome.
If you reached your highest rank in November or even last month. Oh yeah, you got this, Nisha. Did that answer that? So if you rank advanced in April, you're still getting the points for the other 2 months. They're giving April as a, basically, you know, that's your free pass. Whatever rank you got to in April, you're not gonna get points for that, but instead of getting half points, you're gonna get full points for May, June, whenever you hit it next, okay? If you haven't hit in 6 months, that's when you can get the half points. Does that all make sense? Yes, we will share this slide deck in our Diamond group for sure. And we can put it in the library as well. So again, your personal points are made up of your personal rank advancements and personal enrollments and those that go into LRP, right? And you count 2 whole months of that, right? So here you've got, I love how they put a max on this, so we don't just have the online qualifiers rocking it with this, but not learning and developing leaders in this process. So again, this is like our normal incentives that we're used to, that you get a certain point for enrollment, certain point for LRP, and you need to have at least 50 of these points. Could you, you know, this is where people are going to be rocking this. They're totally going to max this out. And can you see how comparatively to your rank advancing, this is a little bit smaller, right? And even helping other people rank advance. So again, easy ways to earn points. Now let's move to the team points, right? So this is showing the rank advancements of your team. Look at what you're getting for your team rank advancing. Not quite the same as your personal enrollments, but really close and really great, right? So 300 minimum required here. This means you get to have your team rank advancing. So this is part of the strategy that we will work from is just engaging your team, your builders, so that you guys are all moving toward this. Yes, Nisha, if one of your leaders hit in April or November, you'll catch the second and third. Let's see, November, does that give us 6 months from here? April, for sure, you'll collect the second and third.
Yeah, I don't know about the November one though.
You can collect second and third full months if they hit in April, but November, you'll catch, how many months is that? September, January, February, March, April,
Yeah, it's the 6-month mark.
May. So that's the 6-month mark.
Mhm.
And then you'll get half points for hitting at that 6-month point. Reactivation points are just for the incentive trip right now. And the reactivation points, they are working to have something in the back office for reactivation. So we're hoping that reactivation will also be included here on the personal enrollments.
So somebody says,
James is saying November doesn't count.
and then Ali asks, if multiple people on your team are going for founders, can one downline rank advancement get points for multiple uplines? No. So basically, this is whoever you have the enroller on. So points are following the enroller tree here. So only counts for one person.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, if someone goes elite and that makes someone else go gold that you have an enroller on, obviously you get credit for the gold, but not for the elite.
Right? Thanks, James, for clarifying. So it would have to be October or before that they hit October or before to be getting half points now. Okay. Reactivated LRPs. Yes, let us get to that. So here we go with your people rank advancing. And Andy, can you show us real quick, just take us to the back office. How do we find the people that we have enroller on? Because if you can just dial into that, then that helps you get really focused. And it's really simple to get to. It's on your back office, right? When you're in your back office, you're going to go to detailed genealogy, and then you can look at.
So you go to genealogy, detailed genealogy, and then you need to change normally we have ours set to sponsor tree. So you change this to enroller tree. And again, you just want to look level 1 to 1, which means who do I personally have the enroller on? Mm-hmm. And then you click update report. And then this is the report and what it'll look like. So that's how you find out who you could be partnering with to earn points for this incentive.
Mm-hmm. And just for any of you that are presidentials and need to know this, both of your accounts are counting as one. So look at enrollments on both of your accounts if you have an M1.
Okay, so helping people rank advance.
Share screen.
Okay.
So, so again, here's our downline rank advancements. Just hitting a couple of the questions in the Q&A, so we're getting clarity all the way along. May 15th is when we start. The copy of the slides is on doTERRA's website, Founders Club 2.0, they're saying in the chat, so you can look for them there. And yes, we're recording this live, and it'll be shared in our Diamond Club group, and we'll also share it, not Diamond Club group, Share Success Diamond Mastermind, as well as Share Success Facebook, okay? If you haven't hit a rank since October or before, you're going to get half points to get back up to that rank. Okay. Great question, Amy. So here we are in the downline points. Again, what if your downline qualified and it's been 6 months? Well, that rank requalification applies here as well. So you can see that there on the side. So team points are those downline rank advancements of personal enrollments. And then also it's going to incentivize you to help your people get to Power of 3 and empowerment bonus.
Okay, so in the questions, Melissa's saying, if I gift an enrollership for a team member to rank advance, do I lose the points of that gifted person? Yes. So you have to have enroller during the period that they're rank advancing, or they're getting their Power 3 or whatever. So
that's where you got to make some decisions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because in order for that enrollment to count for you long-term, you've got to have that enrollment for 6 months. Why do you think doTERRA did that? They did that so that people wouldn't say, hey, let me pay for all your enrollments and or something crazy, right, to work the system. and then you just go throwing them all back. So we don't want to play games. We want it to be the real deal. And that's why doTERRA set that up. So basically you've got that 6 months that you can either keep the enrollment and get the enrollment points for it, or you can give the enrollment to one of your builders or leaders and then take the rank advancement points from that. So to me, the rank advancement points are more. I'm gonna go for helping builders rank advance, and that's where my focus is gonna be. And the enrollments are gonna happen along the way. So that's what I would consider. Again, you're making points from this Power of 3 to 50. You're helping these people get set up for success. And I love that they're bringing us back to helping people, you know, again. And this Power of 3 250 is such a key piece. Again, when you're doing this, don't get lost in just the Power of 3. Make sure they're setting up strong organizations with real leaders at the top. And if you've got a sharer, you know, maybe they just want their Power of 3 250 and that's what they're choosing. Do the best that you can to get leaders in key places and go from there. Okay. And then you've got the empowerment bonus, which now we've got it added for gold, right? Yeah. And this is a really powerful point. You start helping your people hit that empowerment bonus. They're just doing the right actions and you're racking up points right here.
So somebody asked, why do I have it set to level 1 when I'm doing the enroller tree, if they might be 5 levels down, but I still have enroll on them? Technically, that's what level 1 means in this back office query. It literally means like, no matter what depth they're at, who are the people that I have enroller on? So that's what that search does. So it searches for people all over. So, all right, and then I thought there was one more question. If you have enrollership on someone that goes elite, that also helps someone go to gold, who you also have enrollership on, do you get credit on both? Yes. So whoever you have enroller on, you're getting credit for their rank advancements. So totally.
And I love how this brings you back to who's your stewardship, right? Focus in on the people that are in your stewardship. Right now, I want to hear from a US founder that was crazy enough to do this with us. He listened to us when we said, hey, there's this amazing thing called Founders. We think you can do it. We know you started doTERRA like a few months ago, but let's go for this. And James and Roxanne Bybee chose in and believed in themselves and believed in the possibility of doTERRA before we could even see. So James, speak to us. What is your sage advice?
Well, I don't know if I have any sage advice, because my skull was thick back then, and I wasn't sage enough to see it as quickly as I could have or should have. So Roxanne's at the eye doctor at the moment, so she wanted to join us but couldn't. But you know, here's the thing, and this out, but I love that doTERRA has finally, because we've been asking for it, like Natalie said, forever, right? That they've really put this together for the first time in a way that basically rewards what you should be doing in the right way that you should be doing it. So what I'm looking at this as, and I'm calling this doTERRA 2.0. I'm not looking at Founders 2.0. I'm looking at doTERRA 2.0. Because when I look back at 2008, when my crazy sister-in-law, right, threw this at me, right, just like threw this at me, and I'm like, what, you know, and different things. And back then I did think she was crazy, but she's crazy enough that now we're all in this ship that's sailing through amazing, fantastic rewards. But think about this. Think about where people are at now in comparison to 2008. So in 2008, we had complete financial meltdowns, and there was lots of chaos, recession, people in all kinds of need, including financial. That's always the hardest one for people to kind of open up to a need in, is that realm there. Well, I was in a totally desperate financial strait, and I was given the opportunity, and I, haphazardly and as poorly as I did, grabbed hold of it, and it took us to where we are now. So what I want you to do is understand that, and this is probably more than what Natalie wanted me to say, but I just want you to catch the vision of where you're at. Now, this applies whether you are to you if you've maybe kind of not been engaged for a while, or you've been taking a break for a while, or whatever. And that's fine, okay? But I want you to recognize and have a vision for where we're at right now. 2008, something drops in my lap, recession, huge opportunity. I have a huge need, totally desperate, but closed, right? Totally closed. Until I recognize how bad my situation is and how much I'm just in survival every day and can't think of anything else but surviving, but still hoping and praying that I can find a way out. And recognizing every day as I look at what are my options, that everything else I'm thinking of is not an option for me. But oh my gosh, this crazy network marketing thing with essential oils is an option for me, because it has amazing products, right ingredients that everything else that I was looking at doesn't have, right? And it has the opportunity for me to take charge of my financial health as much as my physical health. Well, guess what? We've come full circle. It's like a decade later, we're right back where we started, if not in a worse position for what the world is in than there was back then. But from a business and doTERRA business perspective, we're now in a much better situation to launch from. The launch pad is so much stronger, so much more foundation there than what there was back in 2008. We now have more tools than ever before. There's whatever system you want, choose from it, right? Choose pieces from all the systems that are out there. There's Upline that have totally lived the path you're on, have been down there, that you have support from. Now, there's thousands of battle buddies, the term that buddies, cross line within your teams, whatever, right? Back then there was a few hundred of us. The only other person I really knew doing this was Natalie, right? So, which is great. She was a great battle buddy, but now there's lots more of that. There's so much online tools. doTERRA is a proven model. It's a proven brand. There's so much that you have that you can take advantage of to run right now and take that opportunity that's there because of the current world situation. I can't think of a better time ever in the history of doTERRA to jump on this model. That's why I'm calling it doTERRA 2.0. No matter where you're coming from, this is a rebirth, a renewal, a completely new opportunity to shoot this to the next $1 billion. Now, Roxanne and I believe there will be a doTERRA 3.0, 4.0, because the world cycles. Never learn the lessons, right? So there's always going to be some situation that and you have the perfect opportunity. And the power of this Founders Club is to take advantage of that, because when you do take advantage of it, guess what? You're doing things that you should already be doing to build a successful long-term residual income. And I'm kind of crazy right now because I'm just passionate about the fact that so many people now have an opportunity in this current world situation that they wouldn't have otherwise, or that even a few months ago people might have just shied from or not even listened to or whatever. But we have it now, right? And what you're going to end up with. So some people are going, oh, there's only 200 spots and it's only 80K. Well, first of all, 80K is 80K, right? I don't care who you are. That's 80K, right? And there's only 200 spots. Well, so what? Okay. Let me just tell you that spots, okay? And there were a whole bunch of people that didn't get one of those 25 spots. But I can name off a whole bunch of those people who shot for the 25 spots that now have an amazing lifestyle and residual income because they shot for it and they didn't get it. But who cares? Because what's the strength of what we've got from a financial standpoint? It's the compensation plan, and specifically Unilevel. And you need to build a foundation and momentum to create crazy Unilevel. And the Unilevel will dwarf any bonus. And remember, this is just a bonus, right? And it's an awesome bonus. And if you get it, great. But if you don't get it, what you will have will be amazing and last for generations once you get there. And this is the perfect opportunity to take advantage of the launch pad that's there, build the foundation, the momentum in running for this goal. And if you do that, what you will create along the way and what you will create from launch into presidential and beyond, guaranteed. All the people who were original founders and stayed in the game, they went to presidential and beyond. They have amazing teams, they have amazing businesses, they have amazing lifestyles, they have amazing relationships, all of those things. And this vehicle, which is all it is, will take you wherever you want to go. And along the way, you can win the incentive trip or multiple incentive trips. You can win prizes in Diamond Club. Those are all extra things for doing the things that we know we already need to do. And people are ready for it. The US is ready for it. This is going to be huge. When we take this to the next $1 billion, it will set the stage for an additional $1 billion, an additional $1 billion. And we will show a proven model of how it continues to work, why it works, and all the things that will come down the pipe in the future that the world situation we will be ready for and we will have it. So I just want you to understand that. So I would say to you, right now you need to decide, am I in or am I not? Because everything that you've done so far in your life has come down to one thing, a choice. And you get to make that choice. Nobody will make that choice for you. But everything that you do and everything that you are and where you're at and where you could be all comes down to a choice, period. And guess what? That choice, every time you make a choice, it equates to work my butt off, okay? So how many of you can think of everything in your life that's good that you've got? Did it come without working your butt off? No, it didn't. But first you had to make the choice. Once you made the choice, working your butt off wasn't that big of a deal. So you got to make the choice. So I want you to say, am I in or am I not? If I'm in, why am I in? Okay? Now you got to sit down and say, why am I going to do this? What's my purpose? I mean, look at the rank pyramid, okay? And look at where you're at in that. That will help you look at where you are and who you are and go, what do I need to do to dive in more to me? Then you need to come up with a plan of action, and you might want to go out and get an accountability partner, all right? And some of you are like me. I'm my best accountability partner. But other people need to have other accountability partners with them, a battle buddy, whatever you want to call it, right? So first you got to decide you're in. First you got to decide why. You got to see where you are at and who you are and whether you're ready to step into this vehicle. And if you need some help, get into the personal development world and find out how you can become a better you. And know that you don't have to do this like Natalie Goddard or James Bybee or Laura Jacobs or anybody does it. You are the perfect person to do this thing in the way that you do what core activities the same. We can have our own personality, flair, image, platform, whatever you want to call around that. We're all going to need to use online. We're all going to need to use offline when that's allowed again. So you need to start coming up with a plan and a strategy that's going to fit what you want to do. But you got to know what that is. You got to know where you want to go and understand that this is just a vehicle. It doesn't have life without you. It doesn't work if you try to plug Natalie Goddard's key into the vehicle. It works when you figure out what your gifts and magic and strengths are, and you plug that key into the vehicle after you make a choice. So make the choice, know who you are, know why you're doing this, figure out who you're going to be accountable with and run with, come up with a plan and a strategy of what am I doing daily, weekly, monthly, and at the end of every day, look at where you're at in that journey and plug out there. And that's all I have to say about that.
Man, if only we could get James to share like with passion,
I
like
know.
get excited about something. I love it. Thank you for preaching it today. You've been to church.
And I remember the kind of belief it took, for you guys to get there. It was the last week of qualifications, friends, and James and Roxanne, one of them was going out and meeting with people, and the other one was literally like in prayer, in meditation, in like asking, what else do we do? And just putting all of their belief on the line. But a beautiful thing is you can't, that decision that James was talking about, you can't get there halfway. Do you remember all that? So powerful, James.
Love it. Thank you so much for sharing.
Mm-hmm. Can't imagine if we wouldn't have chosen that New Year's Eve and what would have happened from there.
I know. I was on a call with a whole bunch of team the other day, and I was reflecting and regurgitating that story of us sitting there. Everyone else is partying for New Year's Eve, and we're over in a corner with a bunch of paper trying to figure out how do we do this? How do we structure it, getting into the system, right?
I know.
Mean, that's the thing. You think back to those days, and you go, how in the world did we get there? And it's the opportunity now is on steroids compared to that. So if we were able to do that when we did it back then, not even knowing what we were doing, not even calculating the bonus correctly and thinking we were going to make $40,000 that first check and something like that, all those things, none of that matters, right?
Yep. It's so true. It's all perfect. The timing is always perfect. Totally.
Yeah. Thank you so much, brother. Literally, my brother-in-law that chose into this with us. I hope you can engage. Again, we have other family member and friends that came to us and said, hey, we actually are mad at you because you had this great opportunity and you didn't come to us. You didn't bring it. So I hope you will remember this. Like, we were clear with Roxanne and James. We said, you've got to go for this. You really got to go for this, but we didn't do it as widely as we could have.
Yeah.
And so now, we literally had family members, we had friends that said, hey, you're eating at this table of abundance and you're throwing off the scraps for us. And that helped us get really clear about, okay, I'm just going to invite everyone. So that's going to be part of what we hit on in strategy in just a minute. But we want to show you the magic of what happens when you
add one more piece?
Yeah, please.
I just want to, because I know what Roxanne would say is she would want you to think about the fact that sometimes people are in survival mode, so they don't totally see the opportunity. And if Natalie had just said, hey, check this out, and then gone away, then we wouldn't have ever said yes to it. And even though Roxanne came on a little bit later, she eventually said yes to it because of the constant touches that we had from Natalie, okay? Natalie didn't run up to us and say, oh my gosh, I have Ginsu knives, they're amazing, check this out, you gotta have them, da, da, da. She was simply going, here's an oil, check this out, and checking back in with us and throwing little nuggets and keeping that relationship going. So, and also remember that Roxanne was very closed. I had to jump in before she jumped. She loves everyone to remember that story because she wants you to remember that sometimes people just take time. And this, even though this particular race to the founders positions, there will be some sprinting. There will also be some parts of that will be marathoning, meaning you'll have relationships with people that you'll marathon, continue to touch with until they decide to wake up and see based on their situation. And that's what happened for us, is that at one point after, Natalie worked on us for several months, probably at least 3 months of touches of coming back to it, till I finally was so literally desperate. Like, I had looked at doing franchising and stock market and a whole bunch of other things out there, that they take capital, you can't do. I even tried 2 other network marketing companies at the same time, right? And so around back up to. And Roxanne, when she started using the product, began to soften as well. So don't forget, in your race and your haste, and don't shy away from people who seem closed. Get in there with that relationship and continue to develop and be in relationship with those people on their needs and where they're at in their lives, so that you have the opportunity to slip in the moments of, hey, what about this? Check this out. Hey, can I help with this? Whatever, because you just don't know what they're going to do. I mean, I think of a Laura Jacobs who could have, you know, started a lot earlier in her doTERRA business, but didn't. She started later, but then came on. A Kelly Anderson, same thing, right? Like this, they came on later, but they came on. And when they came on, it was craziness, right? They built huge things. And if Natalie hadn't been marathon in that part, just had to add that.
Love that, James. Thank you so much, because I think it's so important. A lot of those rank advancement points you're going to get in the last couple months of people that you have paid the price for and with, and you just create that value every day. You show up, you create big value, and it will all come back to you. It's like what Tiffany Peterson says, the harvest cannot be prevented. And we just play principled, and that harvest is coming back. And like James said, this is a marathon. This is not just a sprint, okay? And this is kind of how we see it. So as we move into the strategy part right here, this pursuit is a marathon, and it's got a few 90-day sprints, right? So first 90-day sprint starting at May 15th, right? And we have a lot of teams that are like, okay, this is great. Okay, we're planning our rank advancements for May right now, and we are prepping all the people for enrollment, right? So a lot of people are gonna get enrolled on May 15th, was what we've noticed. And that's a great strategy. Then I think if you've got a team, if you've got other builders that you're running with, decide what your focus is going to be on for this 90 days, right? And everybody's is going to be, of course, you need to dial into your specific needs and what you want to create. And you can, if you've got other people in your team running, get clear on what the 90-day sprint is for right now, May 15th to August 15th, August 15th to November 15th, November 15th to,
February?
that would be February 15th?
I think so.
Yep. Yep. So this is the way that we think it's the healthiest to think about. And in this process, engage your builders. That's the first thing we felt. When we felt the call to founders, it was, okay, who is going with me? Because we knew, you know, if you want to go far, go together. That's what really works. And so we wanted our doTERRA family going with us. We wanted to create with them. And so we engaged, we worked with all of our mainline at that time. Bibes were ready to engage. Lara was ready to engage, and founders happened for them. At the same time, our dear friends, Tana, Justin, Lee had chosen in, and they were ready to engage. So all four of us took founders' positions, and we ran at the same time, and it was really synergistic and helped us all progress. Laura also had another of her qualifiers that ran at the same time. She didn't maintain everything she needed to after the fact, and you know, that still helped solidify things forever. She, to this day, has a business that,
Massive.
yeah, huge.
Great
right?
residual income.
Yeah. So again, just kind of illustrating what that brings. And really, as far as the strategy goes, number one is engaging your builders, right? Because how many of your builders are actually set up to achieve Founders 2.0. So Matt Hall is with us. I wanted you to hear from him because they engaged in a cause to become founders in Brazil just recently. And he helped engage a bunch of their builders. So they almost own the Brazilian Founders Hub. So I won't say that, but I'll let you get us the exact numbers. Matt Hall, Presidential Diamond, incredible creator, 30 years old. Matt, how did you do this and what worked for you?
What's up?
Welcome.
Oh my gosh. This is such a fun call to be on. And I want to get like, I need some kind of like an IV with James energy, just like flowing into me, because that man, he has a gift for getting me fired up. So thanks, James. Yep. We just need to sit next to each other, and I need at least a day with this guy. So the Goddards asked me to come in and just talk a little bit about our experience, how we got people excited and running towards founders. And, you know, it's something that my wife and I bought into the crazy cause as well of becoming founders in Brazil. And I don't actually know the exact number of how many we have. And also it's like people are still in qualification, right? They're still maintaining their qualifications for that. So I don't know exactly, but we have a bunch of people who decided to run. And honestly, the biggest thing that I think all of us should be doing, and I'll tell you guys, there's 199 spots available because one of them is mine. And I hope you come into this with the same like mentality. Like if you're looking at this just thinking about your team and thinking, oh yeah, there's probably some people on my team who could go for that. Like every single one of you, this is something that you should absolutely run for. And really I can't even begin to imagine like the gift that we're being given from doTERRA and from these original founders. Like just stop and ponder that for a minute. Just the size of that gift alone of giving is worth your effort in running for it. Does that make sense? Like just the fact that they were willing to give up, the original founders, this means they're giving up hundreds of thousands of dollars per year. Why? For you. Like they're set. They're good. Like they could go and live on a beach if they want. Every single one of those founders, they're building doTERRA for you. They're not building doTERRA anymore for them. And so the fact that you have the chance and I have the chance to be a recipient of that gift, to me, every one of us has the obligation to run for this. And that's one aspect of the obligation. The other aspect of the obligation is we know what our products do. And so why wouldn't you? Like, why wouldn't you decide to do more than you would normally do? And it's like James was talking about, if you hit it or not, no matter what, you have business growth. Like that's what you need to realize here. And so what we did is, to get a lot of people buying into the idea of founders in Brazil is we helped them understand the power of what that could mean for them, financially and also in their business. And, when you think about $80,000, when I think about $80,000, ask yourself, how much would you have to have invested like in dividend paying stocks to get a yield of $80,000 per year, right? How much real estate would you have to get a guaranteed $80,000 per year? To me, it's a guarantee that doTERRA is going to $2 billion. And even if I have to drag doTERRA there on my back by myself, it's going to happen. It's going to happen because I believe in these products. And I know that that's not the case because we've got people like the Bibees, we have people like the Goddards who are incredibly passionate about this mission and this movement. And so to me, there's no doubt that it's going to happen. If you knew that you could have a guaranteed $80,000 every single year for the rest of your life, what kind of effort would that be worth to you? And I think it's just putting that into perspective for people, for them to realize like, wow, yeah, like why wouldn't I hustle? And sure, if it takes 3, 4, 5, 6, even if it took 10 years to get to that 80,000 mark, like it's an incredible thing. Like that is, you don't find that anywhere. And so I think it's just, one, it's helping people understand the reality of money and how money works in our world. I think most people, they live paycheck to paycheck. Those who have some savings, they don't realize how much they need to really retire, right? And what we're seeing is at least I'm looking at my generation, we're not going to get any help from the government, right? Like, I'm not going to get any help from anybody. And so when you just help people see their reality and then see the size that this opportunity is, and that the worst case scenario is that they grow. like the worst case scenario is you grow as a person and in your business, and you bless people's lives with an amazing product that more than at any other time in doTERRA's history is needed right now. Like I was saying this on another call that I was on with Andy and Natalie. I feel like if you can't build doTERRA right now, like, I'm sorry, just go away. like this is the easiest time it's ever been for you to build doTERRA. Why? Because you have a need for health and people looking to support their immune systems in natural ways more than ever before. People are open to that. And you have millions and millions and millions of people who have lost their jobs. My dad had to let go 800 people in 1 week from his company. 800 people. And these are not like lazy people who are just sitting on their couches because they don't want to work. Like, we're talking productive members of society, producers who are sitting. They're sitting, agitated. Like, what do I do with all my productivity, right? And so we have all of these productive people. And then you have everybody else who's realizing how fragile they are financially. So even those who are fine, like they still have jobs, they are aware more than ever of their fragility, more than ever. And so when you come to the table with the question, are you open to learn? Are you open to taking a look at what it would look like to do what I do? Are you open to taking a look? Are you open to learning how you could earn $80,000 per year? Like, call it what it is. If you have the belief, like I was talking to somebody on my team about this opportunity, and they was like, yeah, but how do you really know that doTERRA is going to go to 2 billion? And I was like, what? Like, if that's even a question, then like, you don't understand what we have. Like, you don't understand what we have. It's going to happen. It's going to happen whether you say so or not. Like, and if it's all on me, I'll make it happen. And it's not going to be hard. You want to know why? Because of what our product does. Like, think about your impact, the impact that you've had from this product, right? And so I'm with James. Like, I'm looking at doTERRA 3.0, 4.0, 5. My only question is, can I be a founder in 2.0 and 3.0 and 4.0? That's my question, Natalie.
No disqualified. Like, your options open. You go for it.
Okay. Anyway, so that's kind of how we got people to buy in, is we got people to see the vision of what it really meant for them, right? And when you're willing to be a little bit real with people, like, I love when the Goddards whack me on the head, and they slap me when they realize that I'm doing something stupid. And sometimes you need to be that person for somebody else, right? Like, sometimes you need to ask the hard questions of people and say, look at your life right now. If you do the same thing that you're doing right now, where are you going to be 5 years from now? Is your life going to change? Like, are you willing to ask people those kinds of hard questions to get them to buy into what doTERRA is and what this could be for them? So that's the other thing I would say we did, is we kind of beat on people a little bit, and with love, like the way the Goddards do with me, the way that Andy does with his ninja brain tactics, all these powerful questions that he has, right? And we just help people realize, like, look, this is the path for you to get from where you are now to where you need to be. It's not even where you want to be, because I feel like sometimes people, they don't know what they want, right? And so, but when you show them what they need, like, look, this is what you need, and you show them that doTERRA can fulfill that for them, then, man, it's just so easy, right? It's just so easy. And like I said before, I feel like there's never been an easier time than right now. And so the fact that doTERRA is launching this right now, your question shouldn't be, oh, do I go for it or not? It should be, I'm going for it, and how many people do I want to help reach this level, right? How many people do I want to help reach founder? I'll tell you what we're doing. We are revisiting our entire list, and I have 1 minute, I have to hop on another call, but we're revisiting our original list everybody who's ever signed up on our team, and we're reaching out to every single one of those people, because I'll tell you something I've learned in doTERRA is that the amateurs try to convince people. The professionals filter through people. They're filtering for the people who are open and willing. So it's not about you trying to convince everybody to go for founders. It's about you filtering to find the people who want it and then running with those people and giving them what they need. So anyway, thanks for letting me hop on and just share for a minute. I'm super excited. I'm so grateful to you, Original Founders. I can't share with you the depth of my gratitude, because that's going to change 200 people's lives in an amazing way. And really, if you think about it, it's actually going to change tens of thousands of people's lives who will be impacted by this sprint that's going to be happening over the next year or two. And so, and every after that, right? Or every billion after that. So thank you guys. I love you. And I appreciate all that you're doing. So
Thank
that's
you,
it. Thanks.
Matt.
You're a rock star.
Can you tell by his belief level why it was that he created Founders and created so many of the Brazilian founders? Like, that belief is so clear, and you are the one that gets to choose in. The one with the most certainty at the end of the day. They didn't convince the most people to come with them. They filtered, like Matt was talking about, and they had belief that they were doing it. Like, his belief, it's contagious, right? That's so real. So engage your builders, number one, right?
Mhm.
Filter through those builders, and
you
focus where you're going to create the most value.
You might have some sharers on your team who, when they see this opportunity, turn into builders,
Mhm.
right? Or customers who are like, dude, I'm in.
Mhm.
I already love the product. So just keep your mind open. No better time to share the opportunity.
And I love what Matt said about their strategy. They're going back to all of their people and filtering through that. So that could be one of your key steps in engaging your builders. Help them cast a vision. Ask those hard questions, right? Where are you going to be 5 years from today if nothing changes? The next point is engaging your team. And I want to just tell you that when people feel like, hey, I'm going to do this, and then Matt's going to get this great big bonus, or James or Andy and Natalie or whatever, like, that doesn't really engage them. What will make a difference for them? And to me, I've seen people engage their team by having something like, hey, we are going to be a Founders 2.0 team, and we're going to be a part. We're going to take a stand and take our place right now in this part of history that doTERRA is making. We're creating a healer in every home, and this is how we're doing it. Or like Rod Richardson would say, we're liberating the captive, and I'm playing my role, and we're inviting you to play yours. So invite your team to play that role. And you may even offer something like, hey, we're choosing to donate every year. When we get that founders bonus, we're going to donate 10% or something like that in the name of our team to Healing Hands every year. So you can be a part of doing that much more good. So find some way to engage the rest of your team so that it's a team effort, so that those sharers, those others that are like, hey, I'm not hardcore, I'm not going for US founders, but how you can have them be a part of it. Number 3 is right now, kind of like Matt was saying with his dad laying off 800 people right now, super capable people. How many people are looking right now? It is the best time. I can't even begin to tell you how great 2008 was with a downtrend economy for what we were doing. People need that extra cash. People want that extra opportunity. They realize what they've been missing. And so you can be there with that opportunity. Kelly Anderson has just rocked it at attracting builders all along the way. And she has some really great ways to just invite that on a regular basis, and some great tips on you inviting that right now into your team, how you can engage new builders. Kelly.
Hey, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Give a thumbs up. Okay, awesome. So I am so pumped up too. And I was like, this is truly the best time. I think everybody's shared that. So one of the things that I'm kind of known for in the doTERRA community is enrolling leaders who enroll, right? I've written a book on it. I have another one called Find Your Next Oil Biz Rockstar in 4 weeks. If you're not familiar with those, the highlight of it is to be really particular of who you partner with, like spot and recruit talent. So if we go back to our strength finder type mindset, some of the things that you'll see in common with top leaders in doTERRA is they have similar traits, right? They might have activator or maximizer or positivity or woo, right? They have certain traits that make people interested in working with them as a leader, but they also might have strategy or a ranger. So look at the strengths of the people that you want to attract or be with, and then start to notice who has been rising up as a voice during this pandemic season, who has been gathering an audience online, or who are you listening to? And do they have an income stream that either could partner well with doTERRA, or could they partner with you in some way? So for example, if somebody is talking about vaccines, okay, like that might not be something that you particularly want to talk about, but this is someone's passionate about health, right? This is a hot topic right now. What else is really hot right now is anything with the food chain. The food chain is breaking in America. We know this. We see it. Tyson Chicken CEO did a full page ad in the New York Times about the food chain breaking. Well, who's concerned about that? Who's talking about these things? Go look on your social media pages right now and see who is engaging in the hot topics of health, like protection of America, rights, freedoms. Those are people who you could probably partner with right now that would be very engaged, are passionate about, the residual income opportunity. Also, it's really funny because as we've seen doTERRA be an essential business, none of us are fearful of our income streams. But the people who thought, even like dentists are really struggling right now, right? Because they can't practice unless it's an emergency situation. So just look at people who are with it, who are natural born leaders, who care about wellness, who care about freedom, and start to think, is this someone who's honest? Is this someone I can trust? Is this someone who has an influence? Is this someone who is smart and capable? They could be committed to this, right? Start to look down all of their traits. So when I'm looking for somebody that I want to partner with, I'm pretty bold about it. Like I'll just go right up to them and I'll say, we have a relationship of trust. I really enjoy being with you. We're great friends. I see you as a natural born leader. I'm just curious, you've ever considered leading a local or global team before? And, of course, that's going to lead right into doTERRA, but you're giving them a compliment. You're telling them you're a natural born leader. You're someone I really like and admire. Have you ever considered leading a local or global team? And of course, we're going to focus on the US right now, but even by saying global, it is big picture, right? It shows them, well, what's possible? I don't even know. What kind of leadership? What kind of things are you looking about? And then you get to be really bold and say, I'm going to be spending my time and energy and resources on, 3 to 5 people in the next year and a half to help them to be a US founder. Are you interested in considering this opportunity and, working with me? And like Matt said, we're filtering, right? So on my personal Facebook page last week, I did a post, and I'll tell you what I said. I had a little graphic. You're welcome to go find it. It's Kelly King Anderson. And the graphic says, "Dear friends, what else is possible? What you're seeking is seeking you." And then I put, there's a lot of people looking for options for additional income or to replace income right now. If this is you or someone, I'd love to connect. Our team is growing at a massive rate right now, and we are seeking leaders to partner with us to educate and help families use natural solutions that are safe, effective, and affordable. If you're proactive, enjoy working with people, and interested in wellness, I would love to work with you and show you how to create a thriving home-based business. I've been with doTERRA for 10 years, and we've helped thousands to reach their personal and financial goals. Please message me to set up an interview. Now, I am a presidential diamond, and of course, there's FTC rules and what we can and can't say, which Natalie will go through. But I think that this is okay, what I wrote. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I am like direct. I am clear what I'm looking for. I'm showing there's enthusiasm and momentum, and I got personal messages back from this post. And every about 3 or 4 months, I'll do a post like this, and I'll undoubtedly get a new enrollment or a new business partner from it. And it's not just because I'm a presidential diamond. This is because I'm being clear that there is an invitation. I've been doing this since I was a silver. It doesn't matter what your rank is. It's just being really clear that I am looking for partners, and I am, passionate about leading or supporting, right? So if you haven't read the things that I've created on partnering with people, I will make I'll make it available to you in digital format if you can't get it easily from Oil Life or something like that. But it's just really choosing that you are going to work with business partners, not customers. And more than ever right now, we are not looking for customers who want to be leaders. We're looking for business partners who want to be leaders and global change makers. And that is what has helped me to grow the very most, is that I never went the customer route. I personally have enrolled about 120 people in 10 years, and we have 218,000 people on our team. It works for me. It could definitely work for you. And, of course, customers have come along the way, and I'm happy to support and help them, but that's never been my strategy. And I certainly won't be partnering with customers to be business partners right now. I'm going to be looking very specifically at people who want their own business, who want to be US founder, right? And who want to eradicate, and liberate, right? And change the world, because right now, more than ever, we need strong leaders to rise up and to have the courage, and they need the financial resources to do it. And that's what we're all about right now, is like, let's get the financial piece in place so that we can fund, the charitable projects that we want to do, or even to protect ourselves. And maybe we want more space to live on. Maybe you want to grow a garden and you've never had property to do that. Now's the time to get those things in place. So thanks so much, Goddards. Thanks everybody for listening. Happy to partner.
Love
Thank
it.
you
Thank
so
you for
much,
your
Kelly.
brilliance. I love, Kelly has some key phrases that she's used all along the way. Kelly, what's your main mantra?
I attract strong and independent leaders who are ready to build and grow doTERRA. That's the main one for attracting leaders. I've said that for over 10 years. And if you look at who I've enrolled, they're pretty independent, and it definitely is serving. And so choosing that independence and, wanting people who want it for themselves first. I've gone the route of hoping that somebody would want to go diamond. And if they don't want it, it's so hard. You're patching that team all along the way, and it just doesn't work. I was just gonna say the other one is I grow doTERRA quickly and easily, and God shows me the way. I've always partnered with God, and I've always asked for guidance. And now more than ever, we need to lead our lives with faith, right? We need to have the trust in Him, and that He will help us to find the partners that we can work with well, and that we can help and support one another. And it's such a privilege, honestly, to work with people who live by faith. And we're always like helping and growing together. Just one thing that if I could just leave you with, there's a book called The Circle Maker. And it's basically a concept of walking around your property or your home in seven times and praying over the blessings you want to receive. And I have friends that have been doing this. Erin Giles did this the month she went diamond. She walked around her home for seven times around her home, and she had 22 personal enrollments that month, and she went diamond. And I love the concept of like asking for guidance and also praising God for the blessings you are to receive. And I know that there's so many fun things that you can do with partnering and co-creating in a faith-based way. And so definitely, if you are a believer, now's the best time to co-create, and your faith will just increase, and it'll be such a joy. And you'll say, yeah, we did this together, you know, it's going to be so much fun. So there you go. There's some more ideas.
Co-creating is the only way. It's so cool. Can you hear how Kelly is filtering? So she filters with her words and her clarity on, and she also filters what she does, right? She grows doTERRA fast and easy, and God shows her the way. Like, she does those things that are required, and she lets the balance go. So in order to do this, the more you can filter and be working with the people that are in, those builders that are in here, and working on the things that will make a biggest difference. And that's gonna help you just streamline everything. Thanks so much for sharing your heart, Kelly, and your expertise.
My pleasure.
Tons
Good
of
luck,
wisdom
everybody.
Thank you. So we're just going to take 5 minutes to wrap. We want to share a couple of these key resources with you. You are making an invitation. We're going to throw this link into the chat. We'll also put it on that Founders 2.0 page. The 2019 earnings and disclosure should be coming in the next little bit, and then we can update it with that. But for now, anytime you're just, hey, who's interested in freedom and like, have an option that will take you there. Put the opportunity and grounding it. Do you see right?
We're under the gun. Basically, because we're the largest direct selling company in America, and because the economy is crashing, the FTC just has their guns out loaded and aimed at us. And so
looking for those kind of things.
Yep. So we all get to play color within the lines and just be really, really safe every time we invite people to earn income with doTERRA.
Love it. So that goes over building there. Dee, show us a couple of these great resources. I know we have Nisha Riggs on the call. She rocked it with a great Google Doc that Nisha, if you're okay, she shared Diamond Group. We're happy to share that. I know that Lara was making something even more spruced up. We'll share resources on that /founders page, so you can wait for that there. But this is going to help you start tracking, right? And
the cool thing is this one tracks not only Founders Club, but also for the next. It just lets you put like your names and who you're working with and the points from each one.
So if you top, right? Your personal points, reality, your leadership ability, and then Playa del Carmen is the incentive trip, right? And then your goals, hundreds name list, potential activations, like great stuff.
And doTERRA is going to have their own portal, like a dashboard, kind of like maybe like we have in Roller. We're going to go dump those names into this list and then start focusing our energy based on that list. So yes, doTERRA will have tracking, but this is for planning.
And thank you, Nisha. She's going to create a tutorial. We'll link to that too. And thank you so much. We want to hit, you're having, Dee, think of those questions while we're going. We're going to show you the last sentence that Emily went with PowerPoint. And maybe we hit on that really quick.
Okay.
So really quick, your next year, 2021 to 2023, that you would maintain at gold, that's reasonable. And then platinum would be 2024 to 2025. And you're hitting those ranks 10 out of 12 months with your US volume in order to stay in the Founders Clubs. Again, they are going to audit. They're going to make sure people are doing this right. So just play play good, play right, do it right, and it'll last forever and it will work for you. And then I hope you saw through Emily's PowerPoint that anyone can do this. They ran this scenarios, right? So this gold that goes diamond, points were broken down, but they got there. How about
going to platinum? Like, this is how they rack up the points, and they can win a spot too. And then here's diamond. This is not one of those where like presidentials have an advantage or newbies have an advantage. Like, they have nailed it with making a level playing field. So we're so excited about that.
Absolutely. Yeah, it will likely move to diamond after that, but it won't be a problem for you if you've done the work.
Yeah.
So that would be like 4 years, right? Okay, to wrap, one of the most important things that we've seen in doing something like this, again, we're on a marathon. You're thinking of those 3 90-day sprints. And as you do that, you got to have an accountability partner, right? How long does the exercise program go that you don't have an accountability partner for? Like, this is the setup for success. At least one workout buddy. If you make groups of 6 to 8, that you have a little group that you're helping each other, that's so powerful. So, you know, use the tips that we've talked about today. These are key things, right? And then get that accountability up, and then just simply chop wood and carry water. Do the work. There is no substitute for doing the work. And this is actually the greatest work. Andy, do you ever feel like we don't work?
Yeah, we pinch ourselves because we get to do what we love. And, you know, helping people get to freedom, like, is there any better work?
And the satisfaction that will come from this work will be great. So we encourage you to have those conversations. Make sure, you know, you've had that conversation with your spouse. Understand this. We had that chat. I'm going to put our resource, our energy in this for the next 12 months. We engaged our kids in that kind of win rewards as they helped us as well. So engagement key right now, and then get your ability going. We're so excited. We're going to Andy and Tiffany, those are going to have a founders focus now, right? Lots of people going for founders. Those are going to have that focus. And then we are so excited for you to team up with those key people running in your teams. Our goal is to be US Founders 2.0 and have at least 70 people from our team, 70 plus people from our team be founders. Are here to support you, to help you. We want you to get there. Take advantage of these resources we'll put together and go on the pursuit. Pure, what's going to help you to freedom and what is going to help so many others to freedom.
We'll be cheering for you all the way.
Amen. Lots of love.